amongst the athletes as well, which makes it so special.
Start list for the men's double scull, and there you see another Kiwi crew, Story and Harris, going head-to-head with Letcher and Watts, the new Australians, in the centre lanes.
This is going to be another interesting one for us to see as things start shaping up for the new Olympiad. We've got the double scull there, obviously 2 rowers, 2 oars each. They'll steer this with their own the blade power. Probably the bowerman tends to take responsibility for the steering. See the crowds coming in now, the sun's come out, and it's a lovely day here on the Malta Lake in Poznan, as we have a look here at the crews lining up on the start.
So the men's double sculls, Georgi Bozilov in the bow seat, and strokeman Christian Vasilev. Olaf Tufte, the great 41-year-old Norwegian Kjetil Borch behind him. Letcher and Watts, 2 Australians. I believe David Watts used to be Kim Brennan's training partner. John Story in the bow seat, Chris Harris in the stroke seat, the man from Wanganui. The 2 Argentine, Murillo and Rosso, they're in lane 5. Completing the picture, Adam Viceniak in the stroke seat and Dominic Hacha in the bow seat. He's on the left of your screen.
And as you say, Martin, I think we're looking for the middle of the course here, as we'd like to see the Norwegians doing well. Like to see Olaf Tufte and Kjetil Borch getting right in amongst it. But yeah, the New Zealanders and the Australians, I think, will be good.
That's the Norwegian blade. And I have to say, Olaf Tufte's moved into sort of men's underwear now, Tufte wear, and I've got a pair of his undies on, and no doubt that's why I'm feeling so good about the commentary today, Greg.
I'm glad to hear it, Mart. I'm glad to hear you've got all the support you need today.
That's a great line. So a clean start from all 6 crews in the final of the men's double sculls. We've just seen a world's best time shattered by the New Zealand women's pair. I can't imagine we're going to see another world's best time, because it was sub-6 by the Croatians, who have now moved into the men's pair. There is David Watts in the stroke seat, the man from Swan River in Western Australia. Great shot of him as they moved away.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good race here. Olaf Tufte, so experienced, of course, in the stroke seat. That Norwegian double, he's leading his crew out well. They look like they're just showing in front. Those Australians sat beside them, who look really smooth going off the start there as we saw them getting into it. See, the Norwegians are the quickest on the course. Underrating the Australians if they're really up at 43 strokes a minute.
This is a different tactic from the Norwegians. In the semi-final, the Norwegians were 5th, the Australians led at 500 metres, but you can see that Olaf Tufte and Kjetil Borch, they've only been together in the boat for a month, because Kjetil Borch has had an operation, been recovering from an injury. His coach Lars Johan Flodin was telling me, and they look really smooth and cool out front, don't they?
Yeah, they're really good. Kjetil Borch, yeah, he's made a really quick recovery. He was expected to be out for up to 4 months. He's back in the boat only a couple of months on from that injury. And, yeah, looking really strong, getting up and away.
Kjetil Borch, of course, won that world title in the men's doubles with Niels Jakob Hoff, who we just seen on the Norwegian men's quad. And this is a turn-up for them. Norwegians lead through the first quarter.
Yeah, but how about New Zealanders, Story and Harris there? We've said it, that the New Zealanders don't always show fast in the first 500, but then they get on a pace and they just keep going. And now we can see this crew, experienced, both of them were in Rio, one in the double, one in the quad, and they're getting into the race, and I can see them moving through now.
We're not going to see a world record in this pace. The Croatians set that in Amsterdam, went through in 1:28. The Norwegians went through in 1:30, so 2 seconds off world best pace, but the Kiwis coming through.
Yeah, Kiwis moving quite smoothly now, looking to try and take that little look to the side, and yep, they're showing their bows in front. Interesting to see where the Australians are as the camera pans back, whether they'll be still in it. They'll be looking to keep an overlap, because they don't want to let clear water open up. And
again, we don't see a lot of shoulder use, particularly from the Kiwi stroke man, Chris Harris, the man from Wanganui. And again, it's that front part of the stroke. And Calvin Harrison coaches a lot of the Kiwi crews. He coached that gold medal double in London 2012. Do you think that's something he works with them on?
Well, yeah, and even more so here, if we look at Luke Letcher there in the bow seat of the Australian boat, really hardly any shoulders coming through, getting the blades right out in front of him. It is a tailwind today, but you do wonder if there's a little bit more length to be had there to push the boat out there a little bit further.
Luke Letcher won a gold medal in the under-23 quadruple sculls last year.
He's also a very big man, of course, isn't he? 6'7", so perhaps he doesn't need to open his back out quite so much.
Yeah, from the Black Mountain Club in Australian Central Territories. So through the 1,000 metres, the Kiwis have had a fantastic, well, I think it was a fantastic sort of 250 to 500. They carried that pace on. We were talking about technique. You can see them there. Left of your picture in the leading boat, Chris Harris. Born in 1985, which makes him 31 years of age, birthday in October this year. And well, in the bowman, he's really getting onto it, isn't he? The bowman, Kiwi John Story.
Yeah, he gives it a real sort of oomph in the middle of the stroke, doesn't he? You always see his body kind of pick it up, and then he gives it that extra little hit through the middle of the stroke. But it looks effective. You see them with about half a length there. Norway in second, and the Australians are now getting an overlap with the Norwegians, but the New Zealanders looking well out in front.
3:02 through the K. That's decent pace, 4 seconds off world's best time.
Yeah, and it was the Polish at the bottom of the screen who will have that home crowd advantage when they get in front of this grandstand that could look to pull them home and get them up into a medal. As we see New Zealanders just holding that 3/4 of a length, maybe moving out to a length.
We've got to tell you that this is Olaf Tufte's 21st season, the stroke of the Norwegian double, currently in second place. You can see from the Jones shot there, he is 41 years of age. There is a shot of the great man and Kjetil Borch behind him. Bronze medalist in the Olympics, Greg.
And he's so strong and powerful in his body, isn't he? That he you know, he's a fish and he picks it up and then he wastes nothing, and that body of it is like a barrel, really. Gets connected and then just gives the boat a little oomph through the middle of the stroke.
Just shows you how good that Kiwi women's pairs time was. There he is, Olaf Tufte, and he's got a fearsome last quarter. I don't think it's, well, maybe at 41 years of age he hasn't got the last quarter to get back on the Kiwis. They've got a fearsome last quarter. Just to the left of the Norwegians, you've got the Australian double, Luke Letcher and David Watts in third place, and it's the Poles now challenging for that. You can see them at the top of your picture, can't you, Greg?
Polish at the... Yeah, that's right. The Polish are going to be really working hard now to try and get back on, to get onto the medals, get on the podium here. But we have a nice shot as you see the stroke rate coming up in the New Zealand boat, still the fastest on the course.
I love that release. It's just like front part of the stroke, do the work, and then just let go of the boat, let it run on for you. And you see it's really flat as it moves through the water. He's calling now. Is he calling now, or is that just his jaw? Is that he's so loose in his face?
I think he's just loose in his face, and they're doing everything they can. They look like they're really still jacking it up now, and they come in front of the stand. They need to, because they know that they've got a sprint from Olaf Tufte. And we've also got the sprint going on with the Polish at the bottom of the screen, trying to get through the Australians.
Letcher and Watts just holding on to that bronze medal position, but Hasan Winsniak really sprinted for it. There's the New Zealanders in gold medal position. The Norwegians will take silver. We don't know about the bronze medal.
I think the Poles could be on for the bronze medal here.
Angle's deceptive. Norway takes silver. It's just, yeah, it's just the Poles take that bronze medal ahead of the Australians. Not much in it.
Yeah, the Polish had a great last 250. You could see them here with my naked eye, but not on the camera, just creeping up as they came past our commentary position. They were level and then just came through. But yeah, Story and Harris taking the gold medal very convincingly. A very strong performance there. Tufte did everything he could with Kjetil Borch behind him to close that gap in the last 500. But it was a good, solid silver medal for them. And then the Poles, as we see, sprinted it up the last 250 to just clinch that bronze medal.
So just over 98%, 98.26% for the Kiwis. Again, that underlines the speed of that New Zealand women's pairs who broke the set a new world's best time. 6 minutes 49, sub 6:50 in the women's pairs. Sensational. Olaf Tufte, the 41-year-old. Beautiful, smooth sculling. Lesson to all youngsters. Double Olympic champion in the Olympics in Athens and Beijing. Won it from behind with a fantastic sprint. Model to all young rowers and old rowers alike, actually, Greg.
Yeah, I know there's plenty of you still get on the ergo like we did yesterday, and I know you churned out a good half hour, which I was very impressed with.
That's important you said that, Greg. So the two Kiwis, John Story from Avon, Chris Harris from Wanganui, coming up to the finish line there. They really did jack the rate up. And there's the poles. A great shot of Don Harter and Adam Chenziak in the stroke seat. Go, 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 just as they come past. Look, you just see how tight it is.
It's so tight, isn't it? You can see them looking out for the finish line, but they get it on the surge, don't they?
Coached by Alex Wojciechowski. So, we're going to get a chance to talk more about the women's pair because it's their victory ceremony. Oh no, there's the confirmation first of the men's doubles. Story and Harris 6:06.89, over a length in front of Checker Borsch and Olaf Tufte, and then a further length